relocation.
Curry steps back. Oh! Steph Curry!
In a typical game, Steph Curry runs over 2 miles, but the most dangerous part of his offense isn't the distance he covers, it's the chaos he creates in the split second he stops. We all see the three-pointers, but his real genius is an invisible force coaches call gravity. We're about to break down the 5 hidden secrets behind it, including one simple technique that consistently fools even the world's best defenders. Before we start, ask yourself, what's more valuable, the player with the ball or the player who creates open space for everyone else? Let me know your answer in the comments below. What if I told you the most powerful force in modern basketball is completely invisible? You hear the word gravity thrown around by commentators, but it's not just a trendy buzzword. It's a tactical reality that bends the entire game to a single player's will. Think of it like a planet's gravitational field. A player with immense gravity, like Stephen Curry, pulls defenders toward him no matter where he is on the court, distorting their planned rotations and ideal positioning. This pull stretches the defense to its breaking point, creating wide open lanes for his teammates to cut through and unguarded spots for them to shoot from. The defense is forced to cover more ground than they are designed to. It's a power that redefines the game. So, the next time you're watching, take your eyes off the ball for just 10 seconds. Instead, watch how the defense shifts and panics around an elite shooter, and you will see the invisible force of gravity at work. Most people assume a player's greatest weapon is his ability to make a shot. For Stephen Curry, however, his greatest weapon is the defense's paralyzing fear that he is about to make the next one when you want. This is the crucial distinction. His career three-point percentage is legendary, but the threat of that percentage is what manufactures his gravity. It's the constant, looming danger he poses from 30 feet out that forces a defense to abandon its core principles. A defender has to guard him far from the basket, pulling them away from the paint where they are supposed to help on drives. In that moment, Curry's gravity has effectively removed 2 defenders from the play, the one guarding him and the help defender who is now too far away to matter. The fear of the shot is the real weapon. This teaches a powerful lesson beyond the court. Your cultivated skills can be so impactful that the mere potential of you using them can change the entire dynamic of a situation. Picture a marathon runner who is forced to sprint, stop on a dime, and explosively change direction every few seconds, all while being physically hounded by a world-class athlete. This is Stephen Curry's reality for an entire game, and it's the first secret to his gravity, an engine of endless motion. This isn't just running, it's a calculated assault on his opponent's stamina. Every sprint through the lane and every cut around a screen is designed to tax the defender, forcing them to make a devastating choice. Either chase him and burn precious energy, or switch with a teammate and risk a catastrophic defensive breakdown. By the fourth quarter, the defender who has been chasing him is a step slower, and that's all Curry needs. He weaponizes his endurance against his opponents. The lesson is that foundational work creates elite opportunities. Build a base of conditioning in your craft that is so strong, you can simply outlast your competition. Here's a piece of advice you learn on day 1 of basketball. Never stand still after you pass the ball. While most players treat this as a suggestion, Stephen Curry has elevated it into a lethal art form. For him, a pass is not the end of a play, but the trigger for his next explosive movement. The instant the ball leaves his hands, he sprints to a new open spot on the floor, a relocation that puts the defense in immediate peril. That split second when a defender relaxes or follows the ball with their eyes is precisely when Curry strikes. It creates a horrifying choice for them. Either break a cardinal rule and take your eyes off your man, or ignore the ball completely. His most dangerous moment is right after he passes. Apply this mindset to your own work. Treat every completed task as the starting pistol for the next, because the moment you release one opportunity is the perfect time to reposition yourself for the next win. In basketball, the 7-foot center almost always sets the screen for the 6-foot guard. The Warriors, however, constantly flip this script. Stephen Curry, often one of the smallest players on the floor, has become one of their most devastating screeners, a tactic that completely short-circuits a defense's programming. When a normal player sets a screen, defenders have a standard way to react, but when Curry is the one setting the screen, it induces a moment of pure panic. The defender guarding the ball handler is suddenly confronted with the most dangerous shooter on earth. forcing an impossible split-second decision. Do they switch? Do they fight over it? That brief hesitation is all it takes. Often, both defenders will instinctively lunge toward Curry. He uses his own gravity to free others. The lesson is to find unconventional ways to leverage your greatest strengths. Ask how your most potent skill can create an advantage for your entire team, not just for yourself. How can a player be at his most dangerous while doing absolutely nothing? This sounds like a paradox, but it's the second secret to Stephen Curry's offensive genius: the power of intelligent stillness. While his constant motion is exhausting for defenders, his calculated lack of motion can be just as deadly. Because of his legendary shooting range, a defender is forced to guard him tightly no matter where he is, even if he's standing 35 feet from the basket, doing nothing more than watching the play unfold. This effectively removes his defender from the primary action, preventing them from helping in the paint or doubling another player. His presence alone is an offensive action. This creates a permanent 4-on-4 advantage for his teammates. This teaches a valuable lesson. In any system, master your role so completely that your mere presence creates space and makes things easier for everyone around you. Imagine taking a final exam where a new, complex question is fired at you every single second for a full hour. There are no breaks, and one wrong answer results in immediate failure. That is the relentless psychological assault of defending Stephen Curry. Guarding him is far more of a mental battle than a physical one. It demands absolute, unbroken focus. The defender cannot relax, cannot afford to watch the ball, and cannot help a teammate without the imminent risk of Curry vanishing for an open three. This constant state of high alert is profoundly draining over the course of a game, creating a cognitive load that few athletes can handle. He drains your mind before your body. This mental fatigue inevitably leads to physical mistakes, especially late in the game. This shows that sustained mental pressure is a devastating competitive weapon. Learn to maintain your focus under stress, and you'll find your competition often breaks mentally long before they do physically. Basketball is fundamentally a 5-on-5 game, but the Golden State Warriors built a modern dynasty by mastering the art of playing 4-on-3. The architect of this strategic imbalance wasn't a coach, but the gravitational force of one player. When Curry handles the ball in a pick and roll, the defense is so terrified of his shot that they are often forced to send 2 defenders to stop him. The moment he passes out of that trap to a teammate like Draymond Green, the numbers game flips. Suddenly, there are 4 offensive players attacking a defense that only has 3 players to cover them. His presence creates a numbers mismatch. This scenario is a defense's worst nightmare, creating an easy downhill attack with multiple perfect options. For years, this simple action was the most lethal play in all of basketball, made possible only because 2 defenders were dedicated to Curry. Be so good at what you do that you command a disproportionate amount of attention. You'll create an advantage for your entire team to exploit. Here's a fundamental principle of deception. Watch a person's eyes to see where they want you to go, not where they are actually going. This is the third secret to Stephen Curry's gravity, and it's an art form he has perfected. His ability to create space isn't just about his speed, it's about the 1,000 tiny lies he tells a defender every single possession. A quick head fake toward the basket, a subtle glance toward a screen, a momentary hesitation with the ball. These are calculated deceptions designed to manipulate a defender's instincts. An opponent is trained to react to a player's eyes and hips, and Curry uses that training against them. That split second a defender shifts their weight to counter a fake is the exact moment he explodes in the opposite direction. He uses small lies to gain large advantages. The lesson is that the most effective influence often comes from subtle suggestion, not brute force. Master the art of directing attention, and you will create the space you need to make your move. There is a persistent and lazy narrative that Stephen Curry is simply the greatest shooter who has ever lived. While that's undoubtedly true, it's like calling a master architect a good bricklayer. It wildly misses the point. The idea that he is just a shooter is one of the biggest misconceptions in modern sports. His shot is merely the tool. His true genius is his function as the engine for one of the most powerful offenses ever created. The entire system is built not around his scoring, but around the defensive chaos his mere presence creates. His value isn't just measured in the points he scores, but in the dozens of points scored by his teammates who are open because of him. His value is in the shots he creates for others. Strive to be a gravity creator in your own field, someone whose presence and skill make the entire team more dynamic and successful. Aim to be the engine, not just a high scorer. Imagine being an elite shooter, but instead of launching the ball with a hand in your face, you get to take your shots with no one within 10 feet of you. It would feel like a light practice session in the middle of a championship game. For players like Klay Thompson and Andrew Wiggins, this isn't a fantasy. It's the direct ripple effect of playing alongside a gravitational superstar. While Curry is initiating chaos on one side of the floor, pulling his defender and often a help defender along with him, his teammates are the beneficiaries. A player like Thompson gets easier looks because the opponent's best, most disciplined perimeter defender is already occupied with an impossible task. Curry's gravity makes good shooters great. The ultimate goal is to become a force multiplier. Focus on becoming so proficient in your role that your excellence creates simpler and more effective working conditions for everyone on your team. Is Stephen Curry's gravity a natural phenomenon, or was it deliberately engineered? The fourth secret reveals the truth. The Warriors organization didn't just stumble upon a player with gravity. They meticulously built a complex system designed to weaponize it. Curry's individual brilliance is amplified by an offensive philosophy filled with split cuts, off-ball screens, and read and react principles. This isn't a traditional offense where a point guard directs traffic. It's a fluid, motion-based system designed to maximize the panic his gravity causes. Plays like their famous split cut, where two players cut in opposite directions after passing to the post, are designed explicitly to leverage the defensive confusion he creates. The system is built to amplify the star. Individual talent is powerful, but it becomes unstoppable when placed within a structure that magnifies its unique strengths. Don't just rely on your raw ability. Build systems and processes that play to your advantages. We've covered conditioning, tactics, and systems, but what about the most powerful, intangible force in any competition? The fifth and final secret of Stephen Curry's gravity is that it isn't just a tactical weapon he uses against opponents. It's a psychological gift he gives to his own team, a contagion of confidence. His gravity creates more than just open space on the floor. It creates mental space for his teammates. They can play with less hesitation and more freedom, trusting that openings will inevitably appear. A player will cut harder to the rim, knowing the lane will be clearer. A shooter will let the ball fly, knowing they'll have that extra split second of time. His belief empowers everyone around him. This is how role players can elevate their performance to star levels in crucial moments. The greatest leaders don't just make tasks easier for their team, they instill in them the unwavering confidence to seize their own opportunities. A regulation basketball court is 94 feet long and 50 feet wide. For over 70 years, those dimensions have been a constant. But in a functional sense, Stephen Curry made the court bigger. By becoming a lethal offensive threat from 35 feet away, he single-handedly forced defenses to expand their coverage area far beyond the traditional three-point line. This permanently stretched the floor vertically, which in turn stretched it horizontally, creating vast new pockets of space that never existed before. This shift has altered the very DNA of the sport. The entire league has adapted, prioritizing shooting and spacing above all else. Young players now grow up practicing shots that were once considered absurd. He changed the very shape of the game. True innovation doesn't just win by the existing rules, it fundamentally changes the way the game is played. Aim not just to be the best, but to be the one who redefines the boundaries for everyone who follows. So Curry's gravity isn't just one thing. It's a calculated art form built on relentless motion, intelligent stillness, subtle misdirection, systemic design, and a contagious confidence that warps defenses from the inside out. It's an invisible force that reshaped the modern game. If you found this breakdown insightful, you won't want to miss our next video where we analyze how his greatest rival used a completely different kind of offensive pressure. This content is for informational purposes and is not professional advice. Consult a qualified expert as needed.